last class we discussed about inductance of transmission line, right? Inductance of composite transmission line. Then we went into inductance of three-phase lines, single-phase line, bundle conductors. All these are discussed in the last lectures. Now we are getting into the another property of the conductor, which is what? Which is the capacitance of the transmission line. Okay. So we discussed the same way we discussed inductance. Similarly, we are going to discuss what? Capacitance also. First of all, we usually neglect what? We usually neglect this capacitance or what? The susceptance term. We neglect the capacitance or susceptance term because when it comes to like transmission lines below 80 kilometers, then the loss due to or what I can say, the effect due to capacitance is comparatively lesser in the transmission line. So up to 80 kilometer, we don't even consider the capacitance or the shunt capacitance, the shunt element or the susceptance value in the transmission line parameter. That is one thing. But when it becomes above 80 kilometer and at the same time what the voltage is increasing, then if you are considering this as a transmission line and this is your ground, then what? Then the current or the small leakage current that is happening or between the conductor and the ground, as well as between what? Between the two conductors. Okay. So this becomes relevant, and that is why that time our capacitance is important. So we have to study about that. What about the capacitance also? That is our aim now, to understand the different value, different capacitance, and to derive the capacitance for different transmission lines. So, as you all know, capacitance is given by what? Capacitance is given by charge per potential, right? The charge per whatever charge, if you have two parallel plates, what is the charge stored? Charge stored per what? Per the potential difference we apply. That is what is meant by the capacitance. Q divided by V. Clear? So in a transmission line, what happens? In a transmission line, when I say you have some potential or some current is carrying, at the same time, what it means? It means that already there is a charge. Okay. Let us say take a conductor, and what I am saying? I am saying that this has a charge density over it, or it is having some charge. Let me say the charge is what? This charge is Q, let me say. And under that time, an electric field is developed around this conductor. This also is not Q. An electric field is developed around this conductor. If this is a positive charge, then how electric field lines will be? Electric field lines will be directly outward like this. Right? Electric field lines will be coming directly outward like this. If it's a negative charge, then what? Directly inward. They will be radially projecting outside. Right? They will be radially projecting outside under one condition only. They are radial. But under one condition only. When we consider that we don't have a conductor here with some charge Q2, then what? Then they will start interacting and it will not be radial anymore. So once we say that our conductor is isolated, or the effect due to the other conductor is quite lesser, then we can say your conductor electric field lines is how it is projecting outward from your conductor. Clear? And since they are projecting outward from the conductor, it depends on what? It depends on the distance from its sender to that point. If you want to point out at this point, then from distance to this point, whatever be the electric field intensity, then it will be what? It will be the same at any point which is distance that what? If it is distance at the same x, then at every point at a distance x around this conductor, you will have the same electric field intensity. Okay. Understood? Electric field intensity all around it. Understood? So because of that, if you draw radial circles like this, all these radial circles, or when it comes to a conductor like going inside this, then what? This radial surfaces will form what? It will be cylindrical surfaces, and they all will become what? That is what is called as equipotential surfaces. That is what is called as equipotential surfaces. Understood? So these equipotential surfaces are formed around the conductor, provided it is isolated and what? We have a charge. Okay, so this gives you an idea about a preliminary idea about what is happening, or how electric field will be there around the conductor. In order to derive the capacitance, since we have a capacitance, we should know what? Let us say we have a charge of plus Q here, and we should know the potential difference. Okay. So for that, the concept that we are going to use here is one is Gauss's law. Okay. the concept that one we are going to use here is Gauss's law. Something you all know quite clearly, right? Gauss's law. What is meant by Gauss's law? Gauss's law says that integral over a closed surface d dot ds, right? D dot ds equal to the charge enclosed. This is something familiar to you from your higher secondary classes, that what the electric flux density, the D means what? D means what? It is the electric flux density, that whatever electric flux density is there over the closed surface, that surface we call as the Gaussian surface, will be equal to the whatever be the charge enclosed by the surface. So in this case, we are considering our Gaussian surface as a cylindrical surface like this. Okay, if your conductor is going inside, then a cylindrical surface like this around this conductor at a distance of x meters. At a distance of x meters from the center, you are considering this Gaussian surface. So under that condition, say as I already told you, since it's a cylindrical surface and it is all the points on the cylindrical surface, they are at a particular distance from the center. Your electric flux density or electric field density, both will be what? Both will be same only at every point. So this D will be a constant. That is why we can take this D outside, right? We can take outside, and what? Dot ds, or it will become integral over the surface d dot ds. If we integrate all the cylindrical surface, what we will get? We will get what? If distance is x, then it is 2 pi x into whatever be the for the cylindrical surface, whatever be the length of it. Okay. So in this here d into 2 pi x into what? For a cylindrical surface, the length of it, 2 pi rl, right? The length of it. Let us consider it as L here. Okay, I am just considering it as L here. L here, then what? It is equal to the total charge enclosed. Okay, let us say that it is this Q charge which is enclosed here. Okay, so D into 2 pi XL equal to Q. So under the condition, we can get D as what? D will be given by Q divided by 2 pi x into L. Right. Now the condition that we are going to apply for the whole capacitance part is that we will say every quantity per meter. Understood? If the length is per meter means what? This length is equal to what? 1 meter. So that we don't need to write that. Right? We don't have to write this 1 here. So it is what? The Q by 2 pi x. Understood? What? Coulomb per meter square is the unit of what? Electric flux density. Once we want to change it into electric field intensity, how we will do that? We have to just D equal to what? Epsilon E, or E equal to D by epsilon. So we have to do what? We have to do 2 pi epsilon x. Okay. Since we will be mostly talking about the permittivity of, where epsilon is what? Epsilon is the permittivity. Since we are going to talk mostly about the permittivity, and our it is mostly about overhead and line, let me write it as what? Epsilon 0. So it is what? Q divided by 2 pi epsilon 0 x. This is called as the what? Permittivity. Okay, permittivity. This is the permittivity of air. Since your epsilon r value equal to 1, or the relative permittivity or the dielectric constant of air equal to 1, we can write it as what? E equal to Q divided by 2 pi epsilon 0 x. Clear? So this is our electric field density, right? Now, in order to get capacitance is given by what? Charge per potential, and we have to get the potential, right? Now let us get into the derivation of potential. Okay, how we can derive potential? What is meant by potential? Potential is the work done, right? Potential is the work done in taking a charge from one place to another, right? Under an electric field, the work done to take a charge from one place to another. That is what is meant by potential, right? So here, let us consider that you have a conductor like this here, and let me say there are two surfaces like this. Two surfaces are there. The radial distance to the first surface is D1, and the radial distance to the second surface is what? D2. Clear? And work, as you know, it is a path independent function, right? So this is D1 and this is D2. Okay. My let us say I am placing, this is already on +2 charges there. I am placing a unit positive charge. Potential is the work done for taking unit positive charge from one point to another. I have to take this positive charge from this point to, let me say this is P1, to the point what? P2. Clear? So from this point I have to take it to P2. So whether I take it from here to here, or whether I take it from to this point and then take it to this point, it will be the same work. Why? let us say I am taking the charge from P2 to P1. For moving the charge from this to this over the cylindrical surface or over this circular or the cylindrical surface, what will happen? While moving, since it is an equipotential surface, there is no work done to move it from here to here. That is what is meant by equipotential surface. Work is done in what? For moving it from a distance of d2 to d1. That is why I said it is path independent. Whether we take it from here to here or here to here, all the time it is going to take do the same work, right? So that is the work done. And what is work done is usually calculated like what? V is given by, let us say V is given by line integral over what? Over E dot dl, right? dl means what? Whatever be the differential length it is coming, okay? Or it is a multiplication of what? Electric field intensity and the path taken through it. It's integral. So electric field intensity means what? It is the force done. It is the force on unit positive charge, right? F by Q is what we know as what? Electric field intensity. So that is how our potential we define as what? E dot dl, okay? Because the force into distance, that will become what? Work. That also per unit charge it is becoming, because what? E is given by F by Q. Otherwise we can write it as what? F dot dl divided by Q. F dot d means what? F dot d is the work done. I think you have that the force into distance is gives us the work, and divided by charge will give you the potential. Because potential is what? Unit potential is what? The work done in taking unit positive charge from one position to another. Here where it is taking from what? From D1 to D2, and there is a difference. When I have a positive charge here, I am placing my unit positive test charge here. At point P1, I will be placing my unit positive test charge here. Under the condition, what will happen? If I am placing that unit positive test charge, who will be doing the work? Like if this is positive charge and this is positive charge, what? Then this will push this positive charge away from it, so that the work will be done by what? The system only. Or work there is if whatever be the energy of this charge here, it will reduce when it comes to P2, or some energy is spent by the system only when it is when we are taking it from what? Point P1 to P2, or from the distance D1 to D2. That we call as voltage drop. That is what is meant by voltage drop. Otherwise, what is happening? If you are taking from P2 to P1, then it is another case. Then what? Somebody have to push it against this positive charge. Positive and positive will repel. So somebody have to push your positive charge P2 from P2 to P1. So that somebody have to do some work. So that is potential that we have to apply. But this is a potential drop that is happening when we are moving from P1 to P2. So under a condition, we can apply what? We have an equation already got here, right? What is that equation? Our equation is E is given by what? E is given by D1 to D2, Q divided by 2 pi epsilon 0 x, right? Dot dl. Here, if I say it is in the x direction that is moving, let us take it as dx, right? Since it is the x taken here. So dl means dx, right? So if we integrate it, what we will get? Since this q by 2 pi epsilon 0, it is constant, so I am taking it outside. Then what will be left? Integral over d1 to d2 1 by x dx, right? So 1 by x dx is what? ln of x. So q by 2 pi epsilon 0 into what? Into ln of, you can do the other part, ln of what? d2 divided by d1. Right. This is what? This is the potential difference. Okay, this is the potential difference. Q by 2 pi epsilon 0 ln d2 by d2 d1 is the potential difference. When we are considering what? When we are considering V12. That is very important. We are considering here what? V12. So in the logarithm it will come like this. D2 is the farthest point and D1 is the interior point. So now let us get into the derivation of capacitance of a two-wire system. Okay, two-wire system means what? Two-wire system means you have two wires. Let us say this is the first wire and this is the second wire. Okay, this wire is having a radius of Ri. This wire is having a radius of Rb. Clear? And the distance between them, let us call it as what? The distance between them is d, given by d. Clear? So that is Ri, Rb and d. They are the parameters we have. So we have to find out the capacitance of this two-wire line. Okay. Now whenever I am saying capacitance, what I mean is that capacitance per meter. Understood? We are going to say per meter capacitance only, not the entire capacitance of the line, because in transmission line, when we see the transmission line, what I can say, the length of the transmission line will vary from system to system. So we will always say, since we have to say it as a parameter, we will always say in what capacitance parameter, capacitance per meter. So whenever I say capacitance, it means that it is what capacitance per meter, and we will put the units of capacitance accordingly in our derivations. Okay, so this is the system. We have two conductors Ra and Rb, and the distance between them is given by D. Right. So first of all, I want to write the potential on D. Let us say this is conductor A and this is conductor B. So the potential difference between VAB means what? We are talking about A to B only. We are talking about A to B. VAB will be given by what? We already defined it, right? We already defined what? Q divided by 2 pi epsilon 0, right? Q divided by 2 pi epsilon 0 into what? ln. Well, let us say if we consider this A conductor, due to this A conductor, if we consider, what is the potential? The potential will be from what? From the distance RA to the distance D, right? So we can write it as what? The nearby part is what? Nearby part is, or the farthest point is what? D, and the nearby point is what? RA, right? ln D by R. So this is due to what? This is due to the charge QA. Means the whatever be the charge on Q, let us call it as what? QA, and this is what? QB. So due to charge QA, it is what? QA by 2 pi epsilon 0 into ln D by RA. Due to QB, we have to write what it will be. Due to QB, if we write what it will be, QB divided by 2 pi epsilon 0 into ln of what? Now what is the near since we are considering what? VAB only, we are not considering VBA. That is why this ln will change as what? RB divided by D. Clear? So this is what VAB is. VAB is given by QA by 2 pi epsilon 0 ln D by RA plus QB by 2 pi epsilon 0 ln RB by D. Now, since we have a two-wire line here, so we can apply one condition, right? Since through one conductor it will be if it is going, the other conductor will be the return path. So QA plus QB will be 0, or QB we can given as what? QB will be written as QB will be equal to minus QA. Under that condition, VAB we can write as what? VAB will be given by QA divided by 2 pi epsilon 0 into ln D divided by RA minus ln of D divided, ln of what? Minus ln of RB divided by D. Clear? This will change if our charges are not positive, or if here it is positive and negative. Okay, it can change as per our definition of this charge, like whether it is positive or negative. So this is the equation. VAB equal to QA by 2 pi epsilon 0 into ln D by RA minus ln RB by D. Now, if we combine those both logarithms together, what it will become? If we combine those two logarithms together, then it will become, what it will become? VAB will be given by QA divided by 2 pi epsilon 0 into what? Into ln D by RA minus ln RB by D. So it will become by ln D by RA by RB by D it will become, or it will become ln D square divided by RA RB. Clear? D square divided by RA RB. This will be the equation for the potential difference. Equal to QA by 2 pi epsilon 0 into ln D square divided by RA RB. Now comes our capacitance. Okay, now comes our capacitance. So when I say capacitance is given by what? Capacitance is given by Q divided by capacitance is given by what? Q divided by what? Q divided by V. Right. So if we apply that here, we will get it as what? 2 pi epsilon 0. Right. Q divided by V. So it will go up. Q 2 pi epsilon 0 divided by ln of D square divided by RA RB. D square divided by RA RB. Right. And if we take out the squares from both sides, we will get it as what? Pi epsilon 0 divided by ln of D divided by root RA RB. Okay. This is the equation. This is what CAB, right? This is the equation for what? This is the equation for the capacitance between CAB. Capacitance between what? A and B, the two wire line. This is expressed in farads per meter. This is expressed in farads per meter. Capacitance between the two wire line CAB, pi epsilon 0 divided by ln d by root of RI. That is when we have a different radius for the two conductors. RI and RB are different. If they are same, like if we apply the condition that RA and RB is equal to R, then what it will become? The capacitance will become CAB equal to pi epsilon 0 divided by ln d divided by R. Right? Pi epsilon 0 divided by ln d divided by R, ln of d by R. So this is quite similar to in farads per meter. This is quite similar to the expression that we derive for inductance also. Okay. This similarity you can see all around. So and usually the capacitance value we usually represent not between two conductors. Like we have this A and B here. Is the total CAB, what that is what we derive now. Usually it will be represented what with respect to ground. Let us say this is A, this is ground, and what this is the B. So what we have capacitances like this. We have our capacitance like this. Understood? So that case, if we write C and what it will be, let us say these are equal, then what will come? Since they are connected like this, instead of pi epsilon 0, what we will have? We will have 2 pi epsilon 0. Then for with respect to neutral, it will be 2 pi epsilon 0 ln of d by r farad per meter. This is the normal way of expressing capacitance with respect to neutral. Okay. So now let us see the capacitance of a three-phase line with equilateral spacing. Right. We saw for two-wire line we already derived our equation. Now we are going to see for capacitance of a three-phase lines with the equilateral spacing. Okay. Equilateral spacing means what? We have three conductors like this. The distance between each of them is what? Distance between any of them is what? D only. All are D distance apart. Okay. Understood. All are D distance apart, and let us consider that all of them are having the same radius as well. Okay. Equilateral spacing, three-phase line. R, and R. Right. So, what I can say in a single-phase line. Now, so this is the capacitance part. Right. This is the VAB plus VAC or 3VN. So we can again write 3VN equal to what? Already this 2QA into ln d by r is there, right? Here we are going to apply one thing. In this equation, QB plus QC, we can write it as what? Minus QA. Because why? Because QA plus QB plus QC is 0. Or QB plus QC we can write as minus QA. So again this will become what? 1 by 2 pi. This will become what? 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0 into 2QA ln of what? D by R. Right, ln of d by r, QB plus QC. In this both cases, what ln r by d is common. So QB plus QC will become what? Minus QA. Right. If I take that minus inside logarithm, then this r by d will get reversed. So that I will get what? QA into ln of d by r. Clear? So this is the complete equation for 3VA. Now, if that is the complete equation, it became much more easier, right? It became much more easier. So 3VN equal to this. So what will be 3VN? 3VN will be equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0 into what? 3 times QA. 3 times QA of ln d by r. This is my V3 times VAN. I can cancel out this 3 on both sides. So that VAN will become 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0 into ln of what? Ln of d divided by r. Ln of d divided by r. This will be my voltage of A phase with respect to neutral. Clear? Very much clear. Now, we have just defined what we have to take the capacitance with respect to neutral. So what will be capacitance with respect to neutral? Capacitance with respect to neutral will be equal to what? Q by V. So charge will be what? CAN, let me say. Okay. Capacitance of the A phase with respect to neutral. QA divided by what? The voltage, right? VAN. So what it is? QA already we have here. Right, sorry. Yeah, this QA is already there. So QA divided by VAN. So what we will get? We will get it as 2 pi epsilon 0 divided by ln of what? Ln of D by R. It is the same equation compared to a single phase line for up to neutral, right? So similar equation we will get here also. Understood? Whereas D is the distance between each of the phases and R is the radius of each phase. So this is the equation for capacitance. Okay, let us just write as Cn. Capacitance with respect to neutral in what? In farad per meter. Farad per meter. Capacitance per phase per meter. That is what the capacitance, and this is for the three-phase line with equilateral spacing. This is the equation for capacitance, which is what 2 pi epsilon 0 by Ln d by R farad per meter. Okay.